Hey y'all, we're back today. It's a beautiful spring day, and this is our 4th Easter show that we've made for y'all. And today we're going to be making deviled eggs. And we know that everybody knows how to make deviled eggs, but we're hoping that we're going to show you how to make some pretty deviled eggs.
We hope they turn out pretty.
Yeah.
They will. Hey, I don't know how well you can see this thing. I want to go ahead and hold this up right now. These are what we call pretty and creative deviled eggs.
Yeah, they're tulips.
Look,
if
little
you can't
tulips.
tell.
I don't think you'd want to pick one up and try to eat it because it'd probably fall off the green stalk. But are these not pretty? If you wanted to go to the creativeness to take these to your Easter gathering, they would get a lot of attention. But aren't these pretty? We're going to sit them right here, so you can enjoy looking at them while we're making pretty much standard deviled eggs. This is the way they look, except they're going to really look pretty. So
yeah, so we boiled our eggs, and we have taken the yellows out of some, and we boil our eggs. To me, I put my eggs in cold water, and you bring them to a boil, and then you turn the heat off and put the top on, and it'll kind of steam the shell. We had great luck peeling these. They peeled so easy. We got 2 left to show you, and so that's the way I boil mine. How do you boil yours? There's so many different ways.
I've tried different ways. One thing I really like is when I first put them in the pan, and I drop them in the water easily, or I put them in the pan and then put the water over them. I'll put them on the stove and turn them on medium so they don't start boiling real high. Because if you boil them high, then they'll have a tendency of cracking. So if you start out low, then they'll start to get done, and then you can turn it up higher, and then they won't crack, and then the white oozes out of the shell.
It needs to be done softly.
Yeah.
Because eggs are just soft like that.
Delicate.
They're delicate. Yeah.
All right, let's peel these too, Marla.
Okay.
You want to? And see, let's see if these peeled as good as those did.
Yep.
It's such a hit or miss thing. I will tell you that one of my most disaster stories ever with eggs is that I had to make eggs for about 50 people. And I have seen some men gobble down 4 and 5 deviled eggs in a second, and then some people won't eat them. But anyway, I had to make them for 50 people at least. It was an
important occasion.
It was an important, very, very important occasion. The occasion was so important. It was my daughter's wedding.
Very
and she wanted my deviled egg, so she bought these very fresh, organic eggs. And look how perfect.
I know. Look, they came out good.
So she bought these very perfect, organic, fresh eggs. Fresh eggs don't work really good. You don't need them fresh.
No, they need to be the older ones.
Eggs. Anyway, we boiled them all, and they peeled horrible. I mean, I'm talking about little bitty pieces came off like this.
It's the most.
And with the second little piece that came off, part of the white came off. And of course, I am not going to have ugly eggs at my daughter's wedding.
Nope, can't have it.
So we threw them all away. I went to the store and bought just normal eggs that weren't organic or fresh. Well, they were fresh, I'm sure, but not the way the organic eggs are.
So organic ones are harder to.
Well, they're real fresh. They're fresher.
They're fresh,
I guess. I don't know.
Right out of the chicken fresh.
Out of the chicken fresh. All I know is they didn't work. Use your own judgment as far as you.
Use the ones that have been in your refrigerator the longest.
We went through 2 batches of eggs to get the ones that peel perfect. Everybody loved them. I don't think there was 1 egg left. So that's the important thing. No eggs were left.
Yeah, that is important.
So that's my egg story that I'll tell for the rest of my life.
And I looked up this morning why they're called deviled eggs, and it started way back in medieval times or something. I didn't even know they made deviled eggs then. But they said they were called that because they had a spicy flavor then. It was between the mustard and the pepper.
I didn't know that.
So that's why they call them deviled. So we think they should be called angel eggs.
Yes. And these are tulip eggs.
Sweeter. Those are tulip eggs.
One thing that I usually do too is, like, for example, if I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this platter on the table and I'm taking it somewhere. Well, this is normally all that we're taking. I always make a few extra eggs just in case those couple of the white part just not turn out right. And I've never hardly made deviled eggs where you didn't need just a little bit more egg anyway.
Yep. So I always boil a couple too, so you have extra yellow, so that when you pipe it in there, which is what we're going to do, it's taller and prettier. So
Can you help you get started?
Yeah.
You need I've got a masher. Do you want a masher?
That might work. Because if you're gonna, I put mine through a piping bag and through the little star tip that's on there. So you need to get it pretty fine so it'll fit through that star tip.
See if I'll do it a little faster.
Let me make a workout.
Of course, once you get the mayonnaise in there, that helps it all come together smoothly also.
Yeah, it does make it smoother. So how many eggs was this? I don't know.
I think it was
maybe 10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, about.
Okay, so you don't want to get this too thin. It needs to be pretty thick so that, so it'll stand up in your egg. So we might need more mayonnaise in that.
Okay.
This is probably, I put like a quarter, maybe 2 tablespoons, a quarter cup in my thing. I think I left it. Oh, there it is right over there, Marcia.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we're going to need more mayonnaise.
I will say Hellman's Duke's. That's my favorite mayonnaise.
I was going to bring that up too.
Okay.
Hellman's is mine, yep.
I like Duke's and Hellman's.
I like Duke's too. But I know some people use Miracle Whip.
I don't.
Salad dressing.
I don't use Miracle Whip for anything. Sorry, Miracle Whip.
I don't either.
Lovers, I don't use it for anything.
But some people, that's all they use is Miracle Whip. They don't use
Really?
mayonnaise.
Yeah,
I know some people that are like that, yeah. So that's about maybe a teaspoon or so of mustard. And I don't know what you put in your deviled eggs, but I have a secret ingredient that is the Durkee's. It's right over here. Durkee's sauce. And it's this Durkee's famous sauce. And you don't use much, just maybe about a tablespoon. Start out with that. You just kind of have to play with this because
taste it
and see the consistency because
you going to put this mayonnaise in there? You think you need it?
Yes. Yeah. About that much. That ought to be about perfect, I believe. So you mash it up real good, and we have pickle relish, and we would also like to hear, what do y'all put in yours? You can make deviled eggs with all kinds of things. You can put bacon in them. You can put crab meat. You can do shrimp. What else?
You can put horseradish.
I've seen
gives a little bite. Get a little horseradish in there.
Pork, like barbecue pork. You see all kinds of things.
I've never had that.
Yeah, and you can top it with, to make them pretty, you can put olives on top or pimentos on top, or if you want them spicy, you can put some jalapeno peppers in them. Okay, so let's do a little
But the one ingredient I cannot live without, I cannot do it, is the pickle relish. And I like mine sweet pickle relish. Some people put dill pickle relish in it, but
I like sweet. It's got to be
the
sweet because did your mama use sweet?
Mama used
My mama used sweet.
Of course.
Okay, so we've almost got this mixed up here. We might want the rest of that, maybe.
Tell me when, and I'll put it in there.
We've about got the consistency that we want. We don't want it too thin at all. Like I said, you want it to be pretty where it stands up in your eggs.
If it's too thin, then it just runs.
It'll just, yeah.
Well, especially when you're piping them like we are today, and you want them to stand up and really look fancy and pretty, they won't stand up and be pretty.
Actually, I think we're okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the next step, we don't need these knives anymore.
Yep. Here's our piping bag. We've got it in a real fancy tumbler cup.
We put it in our little tumbler cup, and what I do is I have the star tip in the bag, and then you just need something tall like that, and you can just fold that over, fit it on the edges so it stands up, and that's just so that you can fill it. And I need a spoon instead of a.
There should be one right there.
Fork.
Do we put salt and pepper in?
No, let's add some salt and pepper.
Okay.
I'm going to scrape that off there.
We're just going to do a little salt.
Do a little salt, do a little pepper, do a little shake, shake, shake. Okay. And then sometimes I add cayenne pepper to mine because at my house we like We like a little heat in our stuff. My husband does, especially.
Have you ever put garlic powder in? I put garlic powder in mine before too.
I've never done garlic powder, but I've used like everything, yeah. And I hope you have some paprika.
I do. I was just putting it down.
Paprika is...
It's a Southern tradition. You cannot serve stuffed eggs without paprika
a little sprinkle.
On top.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is smoked paprika, just because that's what I've got right now. But regular paprika, a little smoked paprika.
Mm-hmm. They make all kinds of paprika.
I just love to take them somewhere and somebody want to know, what is that I'm tasting that I normally don't taste?
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've got that in there. Okay, so we can move all of this.
All right, Marla's fixing to do her magic.
This is so fun. It's fun doing this. I love to make deviled eggs, especially when they peel good.
And people love you to bring them.
Yeah, they really do.
A lot of times I've taken deviled eggs to put out with the meal, but if they see you come in with them, it's like, can I have one now? And they turn into an hors d'oeuvre.
They don't last very long. So my little bag is filled up here, and you just push it all down, and then you just twist it, and then I'm gonna start on this side, and then you just start squeezing it in. And there's something stuck in there.
Probably a pickle relish.
It is. We should have chopped that up. So there's that. Maybe that's the biggest one.
Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, aren't those, Marla, you're just so good.
So see, you can just make like really, really pretty deviled eggs. And you can pile it up. And I like to go around to make sure that there's enough for all of them. And then you can go back around and add more. And you see the texture, and you just see the little ruffles that are in there.
Let's turn this around so they can see.
Aren't they so pretty? Got another pickle in there, I think.
It's gonna all come out at once. The whole big old clump's gonna come out in one egg.
We're really cooking here, folks.
Oh, there.
Okay, and so there's one.
Oh my goodness, those are beautiful.
So then you can just go back, because we've got extra, and you can just make them extra tall. You wouldn't want to travel with these.
Too far.
If you're just at home, this makes a beautiful presentation. And that is about that.
Good.
And there they are.
Oh, look. I'm going to hold these up so you can really see how pretty they are without tumping them over and everything falling out.
Do not dump those out.
Look how pretty. We've got the tulip eggs, and we've got the traditional stuffed eggs.
It's so Eastery. We should have an egg hunt this afternoon.
You think so?
I want to. Wouldn't that be fun?
Do we have enough eggs?
We could use plastic eggs.
The best.
Do you have any plastic eggs?
I only want money in my plastic eggs. I am past the candy in my plastic eggs. I want $1 bills, preferably $10 bills.
Oh, please. We need to just get our little Easter baskets out and run around in the front yard and hide eggs.
We can do it.
So then, as to finish up, you just sprinkle, not a lot, just a little sprinkling of your paprika in there.
And how pretty are those? Of course, the dish makes it. Gotta have an Easter.
Have a cute little dish.
I gotta have a deviled egg Easter dish. Oh, I love those.
So there they are, and that's your pretty deviled eggs. And
thank y'all for joining us today for this segment. We've got one more segment coming up.
One more where we're going to show everything that we've made. We've got the ham ready. We've got the grape salad, pineapple casserole, and the deviled eggs. And Marcia and I are going to have lunch.
We're going to enjoy all of our work.
Yeah.
Anyway, happy Easter, y'all. This has been so much fun.